Yo, this is Deontay the Bronx Bummer Wild, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world, and I'd like to give a big shout out to CJ Goodfellow, Sports TV. Bomb Squad, baby.
All right, man. I meant to get to this a while ago. Gary Russell says he's unsure if he'll ever be the same fighter following the shoulder surgery. And also, now that Gary Russell out the way, they make Ray Vargas or Leo Santa Cruz is challenging Ray Vargas for the WBC belt. Now, Leo Santa Cruz hasn't defended this belt in forever as mandatory at featherweight. Not the one he lost to Tank, but the one he held at 126 pounds featherweight. And all of a sudden, the WBA gave him an exception to fight Ray Vargas in a unification bout. So all of a sudden, Al Heyman then took the WBC away from Gary Russell and put it up for grabs for Ray Vargas and Leo Santa Cruz. And I got a little tidbit for you about that. So hold on, but let's get to the article. Check out the boxing news playlist for more videos like this. I appreciate the love, support. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all the notifications, increase your chance to get notification. We go live with our video. So Gary Russell Jr. unsure if he'll ever be the same fighter following the shoulder surgery. Shout out to Hands. I can't pronounce it. Gary Russell was all smiles as he strolled into the ring January 22nd earlier this year. Standing across from Maryland native at the Borgata Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City was undefeated unheralded Mark Mayaxo. With Russell seemingly banking the first 3 rounds and attempting to defend his WC featherweight crown, took a turn for the worse in round 4 and was appeared to be a freak accident. Russell suffered debilitating injury to his right shoulder, something he claimed was a pre-existing ailment. While he continued to fight valiantly, he would go on to suffer his second defeat of his career, probably subsequently being ushered into an operating room since having his shoulder surgically repaired. Russell, 31 and 2 and 18 KOs, refused to remain idle on the sidelines. He worked his way back. Quote, "I've been doing a lot of aggressive physical therapy," said Russell to a group of reporters. Real aggressive physical therapy. Ultimately, despite Russell's title reign coming to an unexpected end, he hasn't shown any clear interest in facing Mayaxo in the immediate future. 6 months after usurping the Maryland product, Mayaxo suffered a defeat in his first defense of newly won trinket against Ray Vargas via split decision. Admittedly, Russell acknowledged that in addition to being uninterested in the rematch against Mayaxo, he also moved by facing anyone at the moment, although at one point Russell probably defended his featherweight crown over a 5-year stretch, considering the severity of his recent shoulder injury. Despite the 34-year-old attacking his rehab assignment vigorously, he's unsure if he's ever regained his once dominant form. Quote, "I'm not jumping into the ring anything prematurely. I don't know if my arm is going to be back 100% for me to be able to perform in the way I really want to, but we're in the process of it." So it sounds like to me that he may be considering, retirement. Now he helping train his brothers and all that. Now he probably, being the oldest one, he probably gonna take his father's place. He probably shouldn't fight. He may have a going away fight down there, go up on a dub, go off into the sunset as a dub, and just turn into a trainer. That might be what he might need most to do to lead his brothers. But apparently his shoulder ain't 100%. And that's at the end of the day, well, he's not sure if it's gonna be 100% moving forward. And at the end of the day, man, it's sad. It is, because I don't know what his beef was with Al Heyman, if it's because he lost to Lomachenko, or whatever it was, but it just seemed like, man, and they said that he was outpricing himself too. I got to tell the whole story. I'm a Gary Russell fan. Met him. He was on the channel before. Met him at the Barclays Center, but they saying he was overpricing himself. He wanted welterweight money to fight Leo Santa Cruz. But then again, looking at what he paying Thurman and the rest of them dudes, to me, it's hilarious. To me, it's hilarious what he was paying them dudes. So, and I guess he looked and said, "Well, look what these dudes is making compared to me." And I feel him on that. But featherweights don't get paid like welterweights. That's why these dudes move up. But Al Heyman probably been playing them good, and he probably wanted to be well compensated for the Santa Cruz fight. And obviously he priced himself out. It was more about him pricing himself out than Leo, not wanting to fight. So Leo Santa Cruz was telling the truth. He wanted to fight him. He wanted to fight him. He wanted to fight him. So Gary Russell dropped the ball on that. Josh Warrington was saying the same thing. They sent the offer. He wanted too much money. And beggars can't be choosers. Just because you a champion, dude, don't mean you fucking Floyd Mayweather. Don't mean you Floyd Mayweather. And that's straight up and down. And that's straight up and down. But no, unfortunately, dude, I don't know if it's him pricing himself out or whatever. That's what made Al Heyman mad. Or whatever the situation was. So, but he ain't gonna be 100%. I mean, I don't think we've seen the best Gary Russell regardless. 34 years old. Something about that Olympic class they came out of was 08, whatever it was. Andrade wasted his career away. Terrence Crawford is the one that didn't have a big following, didn't have a big promoter. He ended up being the biggest and the best one. I think Deontay Wilder was part of that class too. Wilder and Crawford, nobody would have thought, Wilder and Crawford, would have been the best of that class. Wilder just learned to box and Crawford not having a big fanfare. A lot of politics play into the amateur thing. So that's crazy. And Gary Russell had all the potential and didn't reach it. Let people behind the scenes tell you he wanted too much money to fight. And if he asking for a certain amount of money, it's to Keith Thurman effect. Even though Keith Thurman not asking for no amount of money. Now I ask for 10, but I made 3 fighting this and Leonard Bundle, 3.5 fighting Leonard Bundle. Why would I fight $4 or $5 million fighting Errol Spence? I want 10, I want 8, I want 9, I want 12 to make too much sense. But what really happened was Ray Vargas, they had ordered Ray Vargas, or I'm just say, but Ray Vargas had been asked to fight Gary Russell for a while. He had been asked to fight Gary Russell. And Ray Vargas refused to fight Gary Russell. That's how Mark Mayaxo got the fight. As soon as he had moved up to to 126, they was like, you could fight Gary Russell, and they wanted Ray Vargas to win that title. They wanted him to win that title, and Ray Vargas just refused to fight Gary Russell. Well, Mayaxo got that title. He jumped right in there to fight Mayaxo. And let's let you know everything you need to know. And now Mayaxo don't have a title, and now Gary Russell gave him a reason. Had he claimed the injury, they would have downgraded him to interim champion, and maybe he should do that. But like I said before, people who can't afford to miss a day of work, bro. That's why people was going in with COVID and all that type of stuff, going into the work still because can't nobody afford to miss no work. One of my favorite smoothie shops, they going out of business because they say, inflation just didn't make no sense to stay in business. They couldn't afford it. You see all these big companies, getting all these PPP loans and being forgiven. You see Brad Favre doing the little food stamp scheme and all that type of stuff. And the NFL, NBA players, doing the medical fraud and all that type of stuff. When it's real businesses out here that actually need it. Before you know it, bro, everything gonna be a lot of buildings gonna be abandoned. Instead of giving the government aid to the people that need it, they keep aiding the people that don't need it. But nonetheless, he couldn't afford to miss a check, and I feel him. Can't nobody afford to miss a week of work. Most Americans don't have $500 saved up. Think about that for a minute. Most Americans don't have 500,000 saved up. Come on, think about that. And that's crazy. That's crazy. And in reality, you supposed to have at least 6 months of bill saved up. That's to be your savings. 6 months of bills. You should be able to live off your savings at least for 6 months. And now, really, in my opinion, the target should be 12. Really, So, um, but like I said before, they're gonna find a way to get Gary Russell out the way. And a lot of what Gary Russell did, I can't even cry black or white. A lot of what Gary Russell did was self-inflicted, bro. From what I understand. Now, if you want to come on and tell his side of the story, fine. I ain't mad at it. But a lot of stuff that he went through was self-inflicted. It was self-inflicted. So I mean, you want to feel bad for a guy. They got him out the way, and they with a very fast way of putting very fast way of putting together Ray Vargas, Leo Santa Cruz. Leo Santa Cruz ain't defended the WBO belt in forever. WBA belt in forever. All of a sudden he get a pass to unify the belt. So it is what it is. Let me know what you girls and guys think. Check the Backs News playlist, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live, drop video. Financial want to support the channel. Cash App, $sign CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link description. Hit the link tree, find me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Amazon Music, and more. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal there as well too. One time peace.